My sister and I are very similar in regards to our love for the strange and unusual. So one day I received a letter in the mail asking me to paint a ceramic animal skull she picked up. She gave me a few reference images, but I struggled to find any good ideas. So I ordered some Taco Bell and got to work scrolling Pinterest for inspiration. And then it hit. After exercising my demons and wishing for death's sweet kiss, inspiration struck. The goth gods of creativity gave me their wisdom. Why gothic? Well, remember when I said my sister and I share similar tastes? Also, everything just looks better gothic. So, what does make things? I'll show you. Well, there's not really a good explanation if we're being honest. According to Google's AI overview, take that how you will, it says, Gothic literature is known for its dark, gloomy settings, supernatural elements, and intense emotions. So I was kind of going for a Gothic witchy vibe, which is why I chose to put on a bat. Okay, so I have a rough idea of what I want now. I guess it's time to sketch it out. Okay, I swear I can sort of draw.
2, 1.
Okay, so I very clearly didn't put the mushrooms on there. It was mainly due to time, and also the moss that I had for it didn't work out very well. It was already too dry. Holy crap, another one? Okay, I have to come clean. Pretty much this project has taken me way too long. I've had a lot of stuff happen since then, and so there's a lot of inconsistencies in the video, but let's just start from the beginning.
In the beginning, 'twas a white skull. This skull had cracks.
So I used some drywall compound to fill them in.
Let me rub.
This part was easy. I just put the compound on, let it dry, and sanded it. The next step was to prime it. It's colder than a goth girl's heart out here, but I need to prime the skull, so I got this. Okay, so I know I said I was gonna prime it with white, but the goth gods said to use black and this. But first we need to spray it with a black primer instead, for some reason. I'm not too sure why, but we can get rid of this now. I like that it's all black now, and I was gonna go over it with another spray of the black primer, but I'm honestly thinking that we should just use the green now. Oh shit. I picked up this amethyst crystal from a local shop and started imagining where the bat would go. I then used a chunk of sponge and patted on some acrylic paint in the shape of where the drawing would be. I knew there was no turning back at this point, so I tried to be careful with it as much as possible. Once it dried, I tried to freehand the bat using a drawing I found online. The pencil barely showed up outside of the acrylic paint, so I made the executive decision to cover the whole forehead portion. I began drawing the little guy yet again this time, and it turned out way better than expected. So now with my trusty tool, I outlined what I just put down.
Where's that white coming from, huh? You can't do that.
Check this out.
Anyways, I filled in the body with a fatter ink marker and took the white pen and dotted in some highlights for the furry belly. All that was left was to fill in the wings and highlight what needed highlighted. I grabbed a bottle cap from my 3 AM ice mountain and traced out the circle shape of the moon phases with a pencil I've had since middle school. I used an American ruler to make sure that they were evenly spaced. I made 5 moons in total. I gave the eyes of the bat a little bit of life with some purple paint and highlighted them once again. Now, this isn't any ordinary painting. Notice how it barely leaves its mark on the skull. We'll get to that in a few seconds, but first we need to be able to see the moons. For this, I just used regular white paint. The moons were by far the hardest for me. My brushes were lackluster, and honestly, I was so ready for this project to be done that I chose to make do with what I had on hand. Okay, the reason for the title of the video is this: Glow in the Dark Paint. You heard me right. It goes on relatively clear and is pretty much invisible to the naked eye, but before we see its glory, we need to make these dots look like moons. I almost forgot to glue the crystal on, I was so excited. And now, the very last step, single-handedly placing each star in the jankiest of ways.